How's it going, everybody? You are tuned into Level M Diecast. We are going to be doing a batch review today. This is the 2022 Matchbox A case, Mix 1. This is the first mix of the year. We're going to go over these in order as you see here on the screen. This is number 1. This is the Nissan Envy van. This is a existing casting that has been reused. We're going to go over this and the rest of the versions of that guy. Next one, this is the Mini Countryman. This is number 2. This is also a reused casting. So, new decos though. Next up, this is number 5. This is the Dodge Durango. This is a brand new casting for 2022. So, there will be no previous version of this guy. He is all new. Next up after that is number 7. This is the Jeep Gladiator in green. This is the third time we've been seeing this guy. So pretty exciting about that. Moving forward, number 9. This is the skid steer. We haven't seen this casting in a little bit. Just kind of as a mix, I guess you could say. Moving on, number 14. This is the Volkswagen Beetle convertible in those awesome steely wheels. Exactly the way it should be. Next up, this is number 17. This is the Nissan Hardbody. This was a new casting a couple years ago. It's a fantastic addition to the Matchbox range for sure. Number 21, this is the 49 Curtis sports car. This is a brand new casting for 2022. So we'll take a look at that guy as well. Next up, this is the Audi TT. This is number 49. This is the second time we've seen this casting. Moving on to number 61. This is the MX-5 Miata. Very, very good casting. It's a little bit big for the range, just appropriately sized. Talking about the size anyways, but it's a very, very good casting. Speaking of very, very good casting, number 64, this is the 94 3000 GT VR4. This is brand new casting for 2022. It is a very highly anticipated model, so we're going to crack that open, check that guy out for sure. Number 76, this is the International E-Star van. This casting has been modified since its original debut. It was modified last year, so we'll go over the previous versions of that guy. Rolling through to the last couple, 94, this is the Ice Cream King, because everything's got to be called King with Matchbox now, which is perfectly fitting, perfectly fine. We've amazingly not gotten this guy in brown before, so that's pretty nice. And then the last one in the mix, this is number 95. This is the 2016 Ford Interceptor Utility in NYPD Deco. So let's get to cracking and check out some stuff. All right, guys, we are going to kick this off with the Volkswagen Cabrio in orange. This is the third time we've been seeing this model. These are the previous 2 versions right here. I think that this model needs to stay in the disc wheels basically forever. I think it looks way better than the 5 spokes. 5 spokes are pretty big. They're pretty big. This guy has full front rear tampo. No side tampos, obviously. You only get so many click-throughs. You know, you can't just paint it all on there, unfortunately. But he doesn't need any side tampos. Looks really, really good. Got black interior. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Next one we're going to roll through to, we're going to go to the ice cream truck. Crack that guy open. We'll swap these out. This is the first time we're seeing this guy in any type of brown kind of color, which is kind of interesting. These are the previous versions you're looking at now. These models been pretty popular. Very colorful release. Unfortunately, there's a lot of plastic with this model, but that's just the way it is. It's a decent sized casting, so in order to make it work size-wise and weight-wise and all that good stuff like that, unfortunately, it has to be plastic, but when they originally made this casting, they did try to fancy it up. The front was originally metal, but unfortunately that was removed. So now you just have your base, just the base, but looks pretty good. It's Choco Deco, looks pretty good. Next one we're going to roll through, it is the Mini Countryman in blue. Get that guy to stay on there for us. This is the first time we're seeing this guy with the D10s on there. These are the previous versions. I think the 5-spoke is perfectly fine, but it's nice to have a mix-up. I think the D10s look pretty good on this guy. I think you guys might agree. It's a pretty good version. I like the blue. Full front and rear tampos. Looking pretty nice. The guy, he does have an interior, just in case you guys are curious. It's just a very, very dark roof piece. The whole top part is plastic, unfortunately. But it's all good. It's all good. Next one we're going to check out. This is the Nissan Envy van. This was a new casting a couple years ago. Definitely not one that's very popular with very many people because, you know, it's just a Nissan van. Get that guy to stop rolling. These are the previous versions. This guy does not have an interior, unfortunately, so the windows have always been frosted. Casting's a little bit small as well. You know, it's got to fit in the blister. I believe this is a similar deco to something that's been reissued before. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it does look familiar to me. But regardless, it's a brand new version for this guy. Obviously, no front and rear tampos, just side deco, which is perfectly fine. There we go. Rolling on to the next one, we're going to go to the International E-Star van. As I mentioned to you guys, this casting has been modified from its original release. So if you're taking a look at the previous versions, both the Fenske and the Matchbox ones had interior variations. So there's two different interiors on it, kind of like the Volkswagen stuff does. Includes the Thank You Heroes pack as well, and then there was a reissue. So this is a brand new livery for this guy. I'm pretty happy with this. Warren winches. They've been using this license for a little bit. It's on several things, but I think it's good. I do like the fact that it's got full-size decos, but then it's got the Warren right there in the front. Looks pretty good. This guy no longer has an interior. That was part of the retooling of this model, so there is no longer an interior in it, which is a little, well, you know, it's definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing they've been doing now. Next one we're going to roll to, this is the 2016 Interceptor Utility. This guy is straight up with NYPD deco, aka Ford Explorer. Super happy we get more licensed liveries. NYPD is pretty much beat to death by everybody, but it's a very popular deco, so it's definitely going to be flying off the shelves for sure. Previous versions, see, you know, it's a really nice casting. I don't really see why they put the tow hitch on it. However, if you do put the Speed Trapper trailer on it, then it kind of works out, but just kind of interesting. I do like this guy. The only thing I don't like about the Intercept Utility is they try to get the front and rear lights in the side tampo there, and it looks okay from the side, but not good from the back. Not good from the back. Looks like they did a decent job on the taillights on this one, but the headlights are just terrible. They're just terrible. They're not even remotely close to being there. Next one we're going to roll through, 20 Jeep Gladiator. This guy is already been posting up some shade variations, which is kind of weird. A lot of people finding a lot of shade variations on this guy. It's a very metallic, bright green. Looks pretty good. We've only had two versions of this guy before, so it looks pretty good. I do really like the taillight tampos on there, even though they're on the sides. Can't see them from the back, and that's because he's got Rubicon on the hood. So they've had the same deco on all three releases thus far. I've mentioned this before. I don't really like the black over fenders, and then the gray base, and then the green body. Just the fact that this model is just 3 different colors. But that's part of the assembly of it, unfortunately. So it's a little bummed out about that, but that's okay. Next one we're gonna roll through. We're gonna roll through a very, 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 very good one. This is the D21 hardbody from Nissan in white. This is the 5th version we're looking at so far. And it's the first time that we're seeing this with a different wheel. It's been sporting that new off-road wheel for its entire life thus far. So this is a new thing for it. I think that wheel fits it perfectly fine. Looks perfectly fantastic. I think it's quite fitting. I do love the Nissan logos on the side. Obviously, this guy doesn't really need front and rear tampos because the front is part of the base. So it helps get a lot of that detail in there. Looks pretty good. So definitely like this guy. Rolling through with one of the only generic castings in the whole mix with the skid steer. We've seen this guy a bazillions of times. Been a very, very used model. As a matter of fact, it's about 15 uses so far. There's been one re-release of existing deco as well, as you can see. This one's, I mean, it's the skid steer. You know, it's there's nothing fancy about it. One thing that I'm really, really shocked about is that we have not seen this guy in ink deco yet. That's very, very peculiar. It's very, very weird that we have not seen this guy in ink deco yet. I'm really, really shocked. I think this would have been the year to do it. We've had it in Rannik, but we have not had it in ink deco, so I'm a little bummed out. I do like Rannik over ink, but I still think this guy needs to be in ink deco. So let me know what you guys think about that. Rolling on to another one that polar opposites of that guy. This is the MX-5 Miata in white. Looking absolutely fantastic. Does have front tampo and tampos on the sides, but does not have any rear tampo. Looks very, very good with the 5 spokes. This is the 6th version, technically, although there is a dinner model out there that I do not have. So there is another model. When they released this guy with the tri-spokes, it was a little weird. But, you know, they got to try something different every once in a while. But this guy looks good. He's got K&N on it, got Brembo on it. I like the swipes and stuff on the side. Looks pretty good. Like I said, this casting is relatively big in the scale of the Matchbox range, but the casting is a very, very good casting itself, which is perfectly fine. Rolling on to another sports car. We're going to do the Audi TT RS. This was a brand new model last year, so we've only ever seen this in one other deco, and it debuted in its essentially Nogaro blue, essentially, last year. I like the red, but the blue was better. Blue is definitely better. Not sure what kind of colors we got coming down the pipeline. I'm hoping that we see a silver, maybe some black wheels, maybe something else. But I'm just happy that they did this casting. You know, they did previous generations of TT, and I think that it was fitting for Matchbox to do this. Very fitting, for sure. All right, now we're going to move on to the brand new castings for this year. We're going to start with the 1949 Curtis sports car. This guy looks pretty good in maroon. Now, the one thing I want to point out about this right away, this casting violates the quote-unquote budget rule. This casting actually has an additional assembly piece in there. So I'm not really sure the longevity of this casting and how it's going to work, because it's got a base, the chrome stripe is a separate piece, and then it's got the body, and then it's got an interior, and it's got a window, and it's got the wheels. So it violates the piece count rule on the assembly. That's one of the reasons why you know, the FJ Cruiser was always a question, and some other stuff. That's why we don't really see many. We don't see anything with 3 axles unless there's no interior or no window or something like that. So in case you guys are curious, that's how they budget. But this guy looks pretty good. Like I said, he's a brand new casting. Looks pretty proper. Got some nice detail in the front there. It says Curtis above the grill. There are the Deets. P39 MB1294 is the man number. Made in Thailand still. Pretty good details on the base. Looking pretty nice. Got a plate on the back. pretty nice. It's nice to see there's still front and rear tampo on this guy, even though he exceeds the allotted piece count. All right, another casting we're going to go through. This is brand new casting. This is the Dodge Durango in black. And before you even ask, no, he does not have an interior. There is no interior in this guy. I actually drilled one out just to make sure. And he does not have an interior. But the casting is fantastic. It's a decent sized casting. It's not skinny or anything. The trailer hitch on the back is pretty nice. It's nice to have a hitch on the back. This model will also be coming out in the Dodge series that'll be at Walmart here in the U.S. You'll also see this show up in the hitch and tow packs for 2022, if those ever show up. Those were originally shown up, packaged and everything on Instagram late summer of last year, and those still have yet to show up anywhere in the world. So not quite sure where those are, but they look very, very exciting. But it's very, very nice that we get a brand new casting and 3 decos right away, right out the gate. So this guy's really good. He's got front and rear deco. Looking good. Got your Dodge in the grill. It does have the SRT hood on it, which is pretty nice. There are your rear deets. You see the plate number 307A2. That is the Matchbox basic case assortment code, which is a pretty cool Easter egg. And then Dodge Durango 2018. There are your deets. MB1266 is your man number. It's a pretty good casting. It's really good, even though, you know, it's unfortunately no interior. However, this guy's going to more than make up for that. This is the 1994 Mitsubishi 3000 GT in like metallic black. This casting is insane. It's insane. And it's got perfect front and rear tampos on it. Nice clear window. Perfectly appropriated, perfectly positioned, size, casting wise, everything. I actually got a little bit of a sneak peek for you guys because I actually got a couple of these and I had already cracked one open and basically oogled over it for a while, so I could really just dive into it. Did also drill one out, so it does have lensed headlights, unless you can't tell. So that's pretty nice. It's one of the reasons why it has a clear window. So that's a pretty good detail. This guy is just a good casting, just a good casting all the way around. It does have rear tampo, looking pretty good. 3000 GT. Got Mitsubishi on the plate. Looking pretty good. Looking at the front, got that awesome Mitsubishi logo right there on the hood. Got the side marker lights, looking really, really good. Base deets, MB1292 is the man number, 2021 Matchbox. Lots of nice details here. Very, very three-dimensional towards the back. Very, very nice. So that's pretty good. It's a pretty good guy. So that is the batch review for 2022 A-Case. Those are your 3 brand new castings. Looks like 2022 is going to be a pretty good year. Matchbox has previewed a lot of stuff. So when we get to more batch reviews, we'll get to that stuff. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss it and let you guys take a look at it. But for now, we're going to roll out. Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Level and Diecast. Peace!